What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Week 15 edition of the Festus Fantasy Football Forum video rendition. It is playoff season, so I want to highlight the two playoff matchups we have this week, plus the important toilet bowl matchup. Lots of stuff going on right now. First, I want to just show you guys the end of the year rankings. These would be no different than my power rankings that I have. If you want to know, Lamar's backpack finished as the highest point scorer. The Guardians finished as the lowest points allowed. The person with the most moves was JaxyPad, and as by record, these are the players. This is what the playoff bracket looks like, with the Guardians and Lamar's backpack taking the first round buys. In these two games right here, we will cover in this video. For the losers bracket, technically speaking, no one is eliminated from last place contention. However, it's this game right down here that we're going to want to highlight in this video specifically. That I will not be counting my picks towards my end of the season score and anything like that. I will be giving my prediction to who I think will win it all at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But before I get into anything else, for my season record, I finished 48-36 with a upset pick of the week total of 8-4. So pretty good statistics there. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, everybody, we're going to start with the matchup reviews of week 14. We're not going to spend too much time on them because it's not really that important besides maybe one or two games, but I'm still want to highlight everybody, and at the end we're going to give out our weekly awards. We do have a couple. So starting off here, we had the GOAT Squad taking down Thank You Tomorrow 128-113. This is a pretty boring game. Unfortunately, it didn't mean anything in this week. It would have had the Guardians lost, and it would have been a great win for the GOAT Squad. As mentioned in the last video, the GOAT Squad was really clicking on all cylinders. As you guys can see here, it's just unfortunate that we won't be able to see him in the playoffs this year. For Thank You Tomorrow, look, the running backs were looking pretty good. Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, maybe he could have done some damage in the playoffs this year, but just a little too late in the season, unfortunately. Let's go over here. Lamar's backpack taking down Corrupt Giants 139-95. The Corrupt Giants just continuing to fall. They are not looking good. However, I will say, I think this is the first week he had multiple receivers get more than 10 points. So, good for you. However, when you have CMC only score 16, you're not going to really win that many games. Lamar's backpack just looking so good. Securing that first round bye with this win, so it was pretty big for Jay Gill this week. I don't think many people realized how big it actually was. But even looking at the bench right here, Jaden Reed, Najee Harris, this team is deep. Lamar's backpack is just scary this year in the playoffs. I think the manager is actually really relieved that he won this first round bye due to the Keenan Allen news we received earlier today. But great win for Lamar's backpack. Corrupt Giants going to fall into the 6th seed with this loss. Let's go to the closest matchup of the week. One of the closest matchups we've had in a while, and I don't think I even touched on this matchup in the Week 14 forum, and I apologize, Team DD, because I did not expect this to be a close game at all. But it was Little Corruption taking down Team DD 88.98 to 88.04. No one saw this come. Look, if Justin Herbert doesn't get hurt, Team DD wins. If Justin Jefferson doesn't get hurt, Team DD wins. It just sucks for Team DD to lose another game when he's so close to last place. But for Little Corruption, look at this. You got the first seed in the Western Division because of this one. You got the 3 seed because of this when your other two guys ended up losing in front of you, so you were able to secure great position in the playoffs. Looking at it too, you didn't have to do much to do that, so looking forward into the playoffs, your team definitely has boom potential, and I think that's what you actually really want heading into that Week 15 matchup. So great job for Little Corruption there. Let's go to what I thought was the best game of the week, but maybe I'm just biased. We had the Guardians taking down the Little Giants 154-112.12. Just an awesome game all around from the Guardians. He had 7 total touchdowns. This was the matchup to win the number 1 seed in the league. Pretty much over on Sunday with an absolutely legacy game by the man himself, Evan Ingram. And the Twin Towers, hey, they're doing pretty good. I don't know, can I say that? Can I call them the Twin Towers? They're both New York running backs. Either way, Zeke as well. I think I had 3 of the top running backs, which is insane. Guardians winning the first seed with this win. Pretty good things there. Let's go now to the upset pick of the week, which I didn't even think would happen. But Chubb Checker edging out a 120 to 110 point win over Bigger Than Black and White. I thought this game was wraps, and I think Mez did too. So after CJ Stroud got hurt and after Romeo Doubs and Dallas Goedert didn't do nothing, I thought it was wraps for Chubchecker, but then Raheem Mostert just scored 2 touchdowns, I think by accident. I don't really know how that happened, and then Wan'Dale Robinson came out of fuck nowhere. So that's awesome. And Bigger Than Black and White had a chance to not only eliminate himself from last place contention, but pretty much everyone else in the league besides Team Didi, and he could not get it done. So because of this game right here, which I did, like I mentioned, pick this as the upset pick of the week, everybody is still in last place contention. Remember, guys, it is season win total plus the playoff win total. So the only people that cannot get last are the people in the playoffs. Everyone else in the consolation bracket is technically in contention for that last place spot. Tiebreaker being points scored. I'm just going to run through this game really quick. We've talked about it a lot the past 2 videos. But the Achilles team taking down Jaxipad. This was mainly behind a DJ Moore and Cooper Kupp. Just great show. Bijan and Josh Allen as well. They look like they're going to be really good players for the Achilles team heading into the playoffs. And for Jaxipad, this was kind of the story of the week. Mike Evans, who you traded for, Isaiah Pacheco, who you traded for, neither of them did anything. It's got to be disappointing too. I mean, Jamar Chase, who you also traded for, just did not do anything. And it sucks. Good win for the Achilles team. Now let's move on to the weekly awards. The first 2 awards we're going to do are the plays of the week. I have 2 plays of the week. The first one going to Little Corruption, aka Team Doyle, and this one is going to him for getting Juju Smith-Schuster off of waivers and starting him this week. If he had not done that, he would have lost. An absolutely great play on his part, so good job for Team Doyle. The other play of the week is going to Chubchecker, who is picking up Wan'Dale Robinson and starting him. If he had not done this, then he would have lost. And I'm very proud of Chubchecker. This is one of the best moves he's made all year. This was his only Play of the Week award, so congratulations to Chubchecker for that and Little Corruption. Now let's get to the You Fucked Up award. We only have one and is going towards Team Didi. Team Didi getting this because he started Zay Jones over Odell Beckham Jr. If you guys can look right here, he had OBJ at 9.4 points projected and Zay Jones at 10.8. So it wasn't a factor of Zay Jones is just projected way more, so he was going to do better. No, they were pretty much the same, and he just went with the wrong guy, and it costed him. Congratulations, or not congratulations, whatever you want to take it, to Team Didi for winning the You Fucked Up award. Guys, let's move on now to the matchup previews of Week 15. We're going to go over the 2 playoff games and the matchup between Team Didi and Chubchecker. Alright guys, starting off here with the Week 15 preview, starting off with the Guardians facing off against the bye week. Pretty important game for him. Also want to highlight Lamar's backpack going up against the bye week. Looks like he's actually benching all of his starters, giving them a little break. Love that move because, you know, they need their rest too. So totally understandable. Let's get into the first matchup I want to highlight, which will be the 4-5 matchup. Aaron Rodgers Achilles taking on the Little Giants. I do have some notes because I want to make this super official, and especially when it comes to analysis, I take it very seriously. Maybe this can cause some debates in the chat, or maybe I can just get flamed. I don't know, but here we go. Looking at it on paper right now, the projections, it has a 53% advantage for the Little Giants. I think that's bullshit. I think it's super inflated right now, and I'll tell you why. Because Tyreek Hill, as we can see, did get hurt in that Tennessee game. Nico Collins got hurt in the Jets game, and Christian Watson has been hurt. So, just looking at it right now, Tyreek Hill, not saying he's not going to play, because I do think he's going to play, but I don't think he's going to play at 100%. And if he doesn't play at 100%, how good will Tyreek Hill be? It very well could be a 50%, 60% Tyreek Hill. I get it, he's trying to go for 2,000, so that's why he's going to suit up. I don't know how effective he'll be. So that's going to really hurt his projections there. Looking at Nico Collins, I don't even think he plays at all. I mean, it's a calf injury. It's been reoccurring throughout the year. I think you need to rest him at this point, especially with CJ Stroud probably not playing. I don't know if Nico Collins plays, truthfully speaking. And Christian Watson, also a hamstring injury. It's probably not going to play as well. So now you got 2 guys that you need filled here, 2 key plays. One player who's has to be started, but you're scared to start now. One guy who I don't think will play at all, so you got to replace him. And then another guy that I don't think will play at all, so you got to replace him. Looking at the team, do you go Deonta Foreman and JSN? Do you go Marquise Brown and JSN? I don't know. There's going to definitely be some questions that the Little Giants are going to have answered for themselves. And look at Aaron Rodgers' Achilles. He's perfectly healthy. DJ Moore's got a tag, but it's not serious. It's just a precautionary Wednesday tag. With all that being said, the projections really actually probably go in favor of the Achilles team, because Tyreek, like I said, he's not going to meet projections. If he does, it's because he scored like 3 touchdowns. I don't think Nico plays. I don't think Watson plays. It's 50-50, if not leaning towards the Achilles team. And I like the Achilles team right now. I think they got some great matchups. Bijan against Carolina, I think that might be a literal murder. Cooper Kupp against Washington, that looks great. Tyler Lockett against Philadelphia, that looks great. I mean, the Achilles team, scary as the Little Giants are, I mean, this is the perfect matchup for the Achilles team. If you had to play a team in the playoffs round 1, this is the guy. And the Little Giants, I mean, you are maybe not scared, but you're definitely not as confident as you were it had been, last week or the week before. So I am, like I said, going to give my official picks for each game, and I'm not going to count them towards anything. I do believe that because of the injuries, because of the great matchups for the Achilles team, my official pick is going to be Aaron Rodgers' Achilles to win this week. I know that's a crazy upset pick in a lot of people's eyes. The Little Giants team just looks super injured. And maybe it's a legacy game for Jahmyr Gibbs and James Cook. I'm not saying that it can't happen. But I think that if you're losing 3 key starters due to injury, let's say 2.5 because Tyreek Hill will play, that's so hard to come back from. And that's why I'm going to give this official pick to the Aaron Rodgers Achilles team. Now let's go to the Corrupt Giants taking on Little Corruption. Team Marmani versus Team Doyle. Guys, this is a pretty big game here as well, because Josh Jacobs down here is not looking pretty good in terms of playing on Thursday. However, he does have Zamir White. Great waiver wire addition there. He kept his ear to the streets, and I applaud him for that. However, Josh Jacobs is a focal point of the Little Corruption squad, so even though he has his backup, it's not going to be the same, and he knows that. So although the 54% projection favoring Little Corruption, I think it actually would be skewed to maybe like a 52%. I gotta say Team Armani and Team Doyle, this is getting way too confusing. So Team Doyle is having a little bit of a dip with Josh Jacobs most likely being out. I don't see why he plays. In terms of the Team Armani team, he looks to be pretty healthy. Besides, Etienne and Noah Brown have questionable tags. I don't see why they would sit out this week unless the injuries that they played through last week were too significant. I mean, it could just be a maintenance thing, in my personal opinion. So I think his team is ready to go. It really comes down to Team Doyle. Another note I wanted to make for Team Doyle here is that David Montgomery going up against Denver, in recent weeks, he has saw less and less snaps, less and less opportunities than Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is basically taking over this backfield in the sense that he is the starter, right? He's getting the most snaps, he's getting the most opportunities, but yet they still are pretty much neck and neck in terms of fantasy rankings. Going up against Denver this week, I don't know how this could go. It could go really either way. It could be the David Montgomery show, or it could be the Jahmyr Gibbs show. I don't think it's going to be a 50-50 game this week. I think it's going to be one or the other. For the A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, I mean, that's a great matchup for them. Good for him to finally, hopefully, cash in on this stack. It's been a couple weeks. Does B-Rob stay starting? Because there is a hamstring problem with B-Rob, and I don't know how confident you can be playing him in a basically 50-50 split with Gibson in the event that he is playing through an injury. Would you start Jerry Jeudy here? Would you start Demario Douglas? In my opinion, if Douglas passes protocol, I would start him. Yeah, I mean, so B-Rob, he probably will see a production dip, especially because it's a hamstring injury. We all know the Team Armani team is not, what would you call, the greatest playoff team by any means. However, I will say this, and this is the one key thing that I need everybody to realize, is that Christian McCaffrey is going up against Arizona. And Arizona is not only the second worst run defensive team, but it's the team that Christian McCaffrey, who in week, I think, 2 or 4, ran for 4 touchdowns on. I think it was week 4, because that was his, 50-point game. You know what, let's check live. Let's check live check here. Week 4, Arizona, how would I fucking know? 4 touchdowns, 50 points. I mean, guys, it's definitely possible. It's 100% possible that we see a game with Christian McCaffrey running for over 100 yards, scoring 2 touchdowns, catching maybe 5 balls, 50 yards, maybe another one through the air. It is 100% possible that we get that type of game from Christian McCaffrey. And then if you could just get suitable scorers from everybody else, there's a good chance Corrupt Giants can win this game. There's a good chance that Team Doyle loses. Team Doyle has some question marks at his team, and Team Armani is ready to go. And he's got a dream matchup with Arizona and CMC. And Jordan Love against Tampa Bay, I also would like to mention that. That's a great matchup for him as well. When it comes to picking a game winner, it's the playoffs now. Right, so every team that's in the playoffs, I think, deserves to be here. I'm not saying that there were teams that missed that don't deserve to be here, but I think that the teams that made the playoffs are the 6 best teams. I think each player deserves to be here, and I think that every single person this year can win the championship. However, when it comes to games like this, where in your heart of hearts would like to see a team like Team Armani make this upset and win, I just don't think it's possible. I think Team Doyle has too much firepower with Hurts and Brown and Laporta. Rashee Rice has been great in recent weeks. Obviously, some question marks with Josh Jacobs and David Montgomery in terms of injury and game script, but I just think you have to roll with the fact that Team Doyle is just more consistent in terms of scoring. I trust that team to just put up points, and I don't feel that way with Team Armani, unfortunately. So my official pick will be going towards Team Doyle for this one. Finally, I would like to highlight very quickly here the Chubb Checker and Team Didi game, because this is a huge matchup between guys that cannot afford to lose any more games. As mentioned earlier, the last place punishment goes to the team with the least amount of wins plus playoff wins combined. Big week for these two managers. CJ Stroud probably not going to play, but you have Trevor Lawrence, so it doesn't matter. Mostert's fine. Jefferson, honestly, 50-50. I don't know for sure if he'll play. Last I heard, there was a good chance that he does because he didn't break any ribs. If he's not feeling it because, I mean, look, he didn't play 8 weeks because of a hammy, there's a good chance that he doesn't play this week either. Aaron Jones looking to maybe come back this week. They didn't keep him off IR for him to not play 4 games, so this would be the week for him to return to make the non-IR move make sense. So expect him to play, and I'm going to give my win to Chubb Checker here. I mean, he's going to crawl his way out of last place, put Team Didi in a very bad spot, and it's going to be a race to the finish line between these two teams, so going with Chubb Checker here to win this game. Everybody else, I'll give my win here to, wow, this is actually a really fucking close game. I'll give my win here to Thank You Damar, and then I will give this win to the GOAT Squad. I think the GOAT Squad's probably the best team now in the playoffs. So those are my picks for this week. Before I end this video, I would like to give you guys my prediction on who is going to win the championship and toilet bowl officially. I didn't make a poll like I meant to do. I was driving home today, and I just didn't make one, unfortunately, and it was too late now, so I apologize for that. In terms of last place, I think the league pretty much agrees that it's going to be Team Didi, so I think we all kind of agree. That's my official pick, is Team Didi to win the Toilet Bowl, to win the Waffle House Challenge. Looking forward to that interview. For my championship prediction, obviously I'm going to say the Guardians because I'm biased towards my own team, and I'm not trying to play the jinxing game as some would accuse me of, but if I'm not picking myself, I believe that the winner of the 2023 season will be Lamar's backpack. That is my official win, not including myself. Lamar's backpack, my official prediction to win the 2023 season, besides myself, the Guardians. So that's going to do it today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, and hopefully this wasn't too long of a video. I tried to make it kind of informative, especially when I came to me giving my analysis for each game. Let's stay busy in the chat, guys. This is the biggest week of the year for 4 teams, and then next week it's going to be the biggest week of the year for 4 teams, and it's going to be the next biggest week for 2 teams, as you guys know how this kind of thing goes. Good luck to the Corrupt Giants for your first ever playoff matchup in Festus Fantasy. Congratulations, that's a huge, huge thing. I'm very happy for you there. Good luck to everybody in Week 15, and stay healthy.